Hey gamers, it's G from the corner, and the Booster Course Pass for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game on the Nintendo Switch video game system has just finished up. Would you believe it?
That's insane.
Wow, 2 years later.
2 years later, they just like they said, before the end of 2023, 48 courses would be added to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a game that came out 10 years ago, and yeah, they did it. They sure did add a lot to it. And it's kind of weird because I kind of jumped in to the whole YouTubing thing about like 2/3 of the way into this. Like they were about to release Wave 5, and we did all the coverage for Wave 5. We did like the gameplay. I didn't do a review actually. We just did the gameplay. Wave 6, we were gonna do the same thing, but then I thought it's the final wave. Maybe we'll try something different. I'll probably have 1 or 2 other videos on the Booster Course Pass up in the next little bit. But for now, I think we should just like do a little discussion. Let's just talk about the Booster Course Pass, as a whole, as this experience of this weird Nintendo being like, let's revisit a game 5 years later with a bunch of mobile game content,
Yeah, I know, it's really funny. I said this in a voice, I can't remember who I was with. Hi, it's Marco from the corner, by the way. That before the Booster Course Pass, it was Mario Kart 8, but now I could confidently say this is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Because, especially base game, if you're not playing battle mode, you actually really don't even notice that there's a deluxe version of this game. It felt like Mario Kart 8 with, a few extra little knobs and trinkets and what have you. But especially now, you can't even consider them the same game. So I think that's really cool. I think it gave the game a bit more identity, even though they are, unfortunately, mobile game ports. That we'll go into later, but Giovanni, what do you think of the entire rollout?
They should have done it maybe a year or two after launch, not 2021 they started doing
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
February 8th, 2022.
You know the day.
February
That
9th,
was
February
so
9th.
like 5
Random.
years out of nowhere. It's so random. People thinking, they're gonna do Mario Kart game. No, there's gonna be DLC.
That's
all this.
They made them so much
we
money.
just thought it was going to be courses, but they actually gave us 8 characters for all 24 Canadian?
25 Canadian, or
Yeah.
no, 25 American. It's I think 31 Canadian, but still dirt cheap. Genuinely, I think this is the best DLC value I have ever seen for any video game ever. Literally doubling the amount of content in the game. That is ridiculous. This was something I wanted to happen back when the game first came out. I remember thinking it'd be cool if they maybe doubled the track content and sold it as a separate SKU, but you could get it as DLC as well. That'd be fun, like a sort of new Super Luigi U, but then call it Mario Kart 9. I would build off 8 and connect with the game, but they kind of did that
Equally
as DLC, but way cheaper, a little bit later, unfortunately. But you know what? It's fine. It's kind of weird because I think I definitely said this a million times. This happened right after we were done 3 years of Smash DLC. So it felt like that train of excitement for big Nintendo multiplayer game getting speculation worthy content really was just it continued on, with Mario Kart now.
Yeah, but based off data mines and the corner coverage, we definitely knew a lot more than Smash DLC.
You know what? It was still fun though.
It was
in a
an
different
amazing
way.
time.
I remember back when it first came out, making little prediction lists, they're gonna put these tracks in the game.
Vanilla Lake, because there's an advertisement.
Because there's the advertisement. It's funny because the second the trailer started playing in the direct, I was like, okay, these are tour cities, and this track looks like it was also in tour. I didn't know Shroom Ridge hadn't come to tour, but I saw it and I was like, Shroom Ridge, that one's totally in tour. This is all stuff from tour. What was in tour? And I looked at the list at the time, and there was about 48 tracks, and I'm like, yeah, that's about enough content. Little did I know, most of the Booster Course Pass would be stuff that wasn't even in tour at the time.
They came eventually. Let's not pretend they made new tracks. They were all tour tracks, but it's just this one isn't added to tour yet, so you can say it's a new track. Yeah,
and even the retro tracks, stuff. Back then, I wasn't expecting to see tracks like Peach Gardens, Waluigi Stadium, DK Mountain, Moonview Highway. I was expecting. I thought Airship Fortress and Luigi's Mansion were givens. We didn't get either of those. We got Mario Circuit and Shroom Ridge.
Banger tracks. Speaking of tracks, let's get into a little mini review. So, Wave 1, the rollout was cool, the announcement was cool. How do we feel about the track starting at Paris Promenade?
Good.
Good track.
Good track.
Basic track, but really good.
Basic track, fun to drive. You're going to notice a trend with the tour cities specifically. There's 3 or 4 things people actually care about. The music and graphics, which, for reference, I'm less of that.
This guy doesn't care at all. This guy doesn't care at all. I'm gonna spoil it right now. I think Toad Circuit is top 5 track in the game.
Top 10, 12 now, but still, yeah.
It's that good.
You'll hear about it in 6 seconds. But yeah, so it's those 2, and then for specifically tour cities, because the other 2 were more so just tracks in general, but specifically tour cities, it's the width and the confusing elements of it, because there are definitely some tracks later, some other cities, where you have no idea where you're going, and it looks like it was ported straight from Tour, not ready for 200cc. Because another spoiler, we kind of played mostly, if not entirely, 200cc, so that warps our view of it a little bit. For example, later in the list, Los Angeles laps. That map doesn't work in 150, let alone 200. So that's going to influence our decision a little bit. But Paris works great with the game's engine. The graphics could be a little bit better. I know people care about that, but for me, I enjoyed it a lot.
Like that's kind of the theme with Wave 1. You know, a lot of the tracks are fun to drive on because I noticed this. There's kind of a bit of a difficulty progression across the waves. All of Wave 1's tracks are pretty easy to drive on. Most of them are pretty big and wide. You know, visually they are definitely the ugliest looking tracks of the entire Booster Course Pass. I think we can say that without a doubt, right?
Wave 5's getting close.
I don't think. I mean, like, most of Wave 1 looks pretty bad in my opinion.
Like Toad Circuit.
Toad Circuit. The only tracks that really look good in Wave 1 are like Mall and
Hideaway.
maybe Hideaway. Yeah, literally. There's just those two. Everything else looks kind of trash. Wave 5, I can at least say most of the only... I can say there's one or two offenders, but most of the wave looks good.
Yeah.
You know, but Wave 1, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people didn't like those tracks because they were the simpler tracks, but every once in a while, you know, it's still fun to have that, like, hey, here's just, here's Sky Garden. I mean, okay, Sky Garden was different track, very different track in this game. But, you know, hey, a track like that every once in a while, I'm down for. A track like Toad Circuit every once in a while, I'm down for, you know?
Toad Circuit, the map is so fast. There's always, it's a bagging map, because bagging's still in the game, even though the patch tried patching out. But yeah, like, the item play around it's amazing. The coin placement's great. The shortcuts are great. The track itself feels great. You rarely have to brake, if at all, and it just feels good. Even people who people who rated it very low because of the graphics and the music and the redundancy of a beginning track, they still admit it feels good to drive. They just value that less intrinsically than, I guess, our group of people we play with. So that's really interesting.
You know what? I think I've decided on the fly we're going to go through the waves and we'll give a general overview of like the wave and then give our top three, our personal favorite of each wave.
I like that more because I was going to say we have a timer.
We cannot talk.
We have a timer.
Not even that. I don't think you guys want to hear us talk about all 48 tracks because then we'll start repeating ourselves.
And there's a video for that.
Toad Circuit is your favorite of Wave 1, yes?
That or Mall.
Paris.
That, Mall, and...
Well, then you know what, Giovanni? Why do you like...
Ridge.
Sorry. Why do you like Paris Promenade?
Well, I like Paris. First of all, out of all the tour tracks, it's the most basic tour track. Literally you're going for lap 1 and lap 2 is basically the same. Then lap 3, you just go backwards.
Yeah,
literally confusing. So basic. Not confusing at all. Maybe when you first ever play it, you get a bit confused, but it's like every track, basically. Turns are wide. Coin placement's good. 200 is very good. It's very wide.
So,
and the map just flows pretty well. You have actual options if you want to after the first glider ramp, you can go left or straight for more items, or left to a bit faster route and no items. So there's some risk in that.
Yeah,
and that's why I think Paris is like my favorite.
I think the general thing we should do, another on the fly thing, we should name our top 3 and our least favorite, because that will show our preferences. Because I think the worst one in this wave, hands down. Do we all agree on what it is? Like, I think it's personally probably Hideaway. I'm trying to think of anything else.
That's my thing. Wave 1 is all around the same level. You ask me on a different day and I tell you, like, Sky Garden or Choco or Toad Circuit is the worst one, right? Like, it literally depends on the mood I'm in. Right now, I was actually going to say I thought Hideaway was terrible when I first played it, but the more I play it, the more I'm like, yeah, it's a good track. It's not my favorite of the new tour tracks that aren't cities, but, you know, it's all right. My favorite track, and I think Marco agrees with me as well, so we'll just...
Shroom Ridge?
Shroom Ridge!
That is the biggest banger.
We love Shroom Ridge. I love Shroom Ridge and Mario Kart DS, and then playing it again in 8 Deluxe, I'm so glad it wasn't just I like this track because it's an obscure one that doesn't come back.
Yeah, it feels so good. It's so
such
fast.
a fun... The turns are great. It's the best traffic course in the whole
traffic
series.
isn't super obstructive.
It's not super obstructive, and there's everything they added in the 8 Deluxe version with from the ramp cut over the grass and
the wing cut.
The wind cut, that's amazing. When I first saw that, I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's such a great track. It probably would fall in my top 5, top 10 of the Booster Course Pass. But, you know, as we keep going. But yeah, Wave 1, off to a pretty good start. You know, you're not going to get Rainbow Roads or Rosalina's Ice World, just like Bowser's Castle, you know, stuff like that. You're not going to get those in the first wave, the first go around. But, you know, for the introduction, I think this is the best Mushroom Flower Cup I've ever seen in a Mario Kart.
True. Speaking of good tracks, this is where Wave 2 decides to shit the bed.
Wave 2 is alright.
Probably
I
the
liked
worst
it a
one.
lot more when it first came out because I had been stuck with Wave 1 for 5 months at the time.
True.
And so, you know, it's like, okay, this is a bit exciting. I would sit down and be like, Propeller Cup is one of the best cups in the game. It just has a really bad track at the end. But that's the thing. That's not really excusable later down the road.
Oh my god, that is the worst track in the game. Guys, sorry, we're doing the worst track first. Sky Sunday is a travesty to game design.
It's so bad.
Murder on the eyes. But the colors.
Visually, I think I like how it looks more than Sweet Canyon. Canyon, that's the name.
Yeah, Sweet Sweet Canyon.
Yeah,
the thing is, that actually has like
Texture.
texture.
I just like the colors.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
And the other one thing I like about it is because it's all in anti-grav. Yes, it's a lot of the ramps are very jank where it's
So
like
jank.
you'll get yanked down, you'll be really floaty. But there is one cut at the very end. There's this like turn you
Gap
make on a
cut.
bunch of ice creams where you can basically just drift and jump off the track, and you are able to just float back onto the track. They never did anything like that in Deluxe, I don't think, in the base game.
No, aside from anti-grav, the original Rainbow Road. Where
Yeah,
you
but
could
that
go
wasn't like
straight-
jumping off
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
track.
jumping.
Though.
It
That's
was
the
just
thing. It was just
splitting.
kind of So this was.
You
I think
kind of Mute City, but it's like the shortcut at the
Big
end.
Blue, Big Blue.
And Big Blue.
Yeah, both
Yeah,
those.
yeah, it's similar track design. That's one thing Basic does a lot with the two paths thing. Not in this DLC at all. That's amazing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we actually play all the tracks. But yeah, so that one is absolutely disgusting. So we're going to pick up the speed a little bit. But then if we're thinking of top 3 tracks, I actually like. So I like Sydney, the best one. Sydney.
You know what? Your favorite? What's your favorite? In the
It
world?
has to be Waluigi's. I don't think there's even a debate. No.
For you, for me, I'm gonna say
Snowland?
something different. I'm gonna say Snowland. Yeah.
Snowland. For me, it's Snowland, Sydney, and Waluigi. That's my.
What
top
is your
3.
favorite track in the wave, Giovanni?
Get off your phone, Giovanni.
I'm looking actually. Yeah, so I kind of forgot. what
Wave 2 is New York Minute,
Oh, dude,
Sydney
so bad.
Sprint,
My
SNES Mario
favorite
Circuit
is
3,
Mushroom
Guilty
Gorge.
Pleasure,
From
Mushroom
Wave
Gorge.
Oh,
Two,
Gorge is
Mushroom
in there.
Gorge.
Oh, never mind. Gorge is my favorite. Gorge is actually so good.
See, you don't even remember yourself.
You're right. I don't remember. You want to stay on your phone, please.
Mushroom
Oh my God.
Gorge is a good track. I like it. I think it's a fun track. Why do you think it's the best track in the wave?
I made a Mario Kart list that we could post on screen now or when we do the
Yeah, I'll
gameplay
do it,
video.
I'll do it, I'll
Yeah.
post
And I really value on the fly decision making. I value keeping people entertained throughout the race, and I value mental engagement. And Gorge does all of that with different paths on almost every single part. It gives you the ability to express your skills super hard because you could skip mushrooms, you could do the gap cut. The lines are pretty nice. You have the ability to do certain techniques off the mushrooms to get like a faster boost. You can do motion glider. There's a lot of really amazing things on that track, and that's where I think Waluigi Pinball lacks a tiny bit still. A 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 track. There's no cuts. Most of it honestly is kind of a straight line. There's very little, I guess, aside from the really good track design, nothing to keep you coming back aside from that. But it's still an amazing track. And then Snowland's really great.
I love Snowland.
Snowland's great.
I'm a bit biased. I like winter levels, but I promise it's not just that. The layout is just it's a really fun layout.
Fun layout.
You know, there's
Cuts too.
There's a cut at the start. You're driving through like a bit of a forest area, and you can take a cut off of the snow, and it's just a huge jump you can make if you have a mushroom boost onto the ice, this like ice rink area. But that's not even all of it, because you can also take a mushroom jump in between like the ice, like there's a body of water you can't go in, and you can take a jump cut there.
It's
and then
hilarious.
there's
Four cuts.
There's
There are
four
four
cuts
major
in this
cuts.
tiny track. It's so fun. I love the music. It's a very fun, simple track.
Dynamic
honestly.
item boxes also is something that I really, really enjoy. Especially like if you take a slightly worse line, you'll be able to get 2 items, even if you're in first on single items. Like they move in a line. I enjoy that a lot. And I guess some of the more, I guess, quote, stinkers of the wave. SNES Mario Circuit, I know John Luca, G from the corner, is a bit bigger of a fan.
I like
the cuts.
it. I think it's a fun. The way this man likes Toad Circuit, I like SNES Mario Circuit 3. The turns are fun, the cuts are fun. It's an all right track. It's not the best thing, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Calamari Desert, we both don't like them. Sorry,
Yeah.
we don't care about the train, man.
Yeah.
I never liked it. And it's better than it is in the older games. Because the older games is literally a snooze fest. But in
Different
this
each lap.
game, it's different each lap, which is kind of cool, but it's not.
None of them are that great.
None of them are that great. It's not like that fun. You want the when you're driving on. There's one point where you're driving on the train track. This is the only actual road you could drive on, and you are going to get, if you are not like hugging the wall, you're getting
Yeah,
hit by a
it's super
train.
hard.
That's so dumb. It's genuinely.
It also
feels
depends on the
broken, dude.
timing, because we play 200cc, so the train comes
Less.
sooner.
It comes less.
No, it's less.
We'll see it less. So you know what? It's actually easier on 200. If I was playing it on 150, I'd hate that track.
Yeah.
It's probably unplayable on like 50.
then no one likes New York. It's the visuals aren't great for people who care that much. The
It's like
music's okay.
fine.
It's fine in quotation marks, but if I have 96 tracks, I don't care about it.
But yeah, whatever. Wave 2, I think in our opinion, it is the worst wave of the pack, which honestly, it is not even saying that much. It's not that awful. Wave 3 is one of the better ones, though. We would say it's our top 3. I think
Applause.
it's top 3. For me, yeah.
Top 3 for sure. I think something that we need to discuss are what the hell happened to the city tracks this wave.
Yeah, there are some. I mean, okay, I don't mind London that much. London is just kind of
It's
like
boring
a lot
and
of.
mid.
It's boring and mid, but it's got like some design. Like there's something. It's
Yes,
big. It's bigger than the last few.
It's bigger.
But you know, there's not that much happening. Like the chain, the garden area, the Buckingham Palace area,
Sure.
with the chain jumps.
Long live the
that's
Queen, just
fine.
kidding.
Yeah, it's all right. But anyway, what is our personal favorite from the wave?
Okay, so personal favorite, that's actually hard. I think
Rainbow Road.
For me, it's River Road Peach Gardens, and then I'm trying to think of like
Which one is your favorite though?
that's
You gotta
hard.
pick, Marco.
Then I have to say Rainbow Road, but like it's really really close. That it's a great section track. This is where the graphics start getting good for people that care. The music is great. I think it was ripped straight from 7, if I remember correctly.
Rainbow Road? No.
No, it wasn't. It's a remix.
It is a remix, yeah.
Okay.
They never ripped any of the songs.
Yeah, they did. They did.
No, Cove, they didn't. I actually listened to it.
No, they ripped something from 7. They ripped
No, none of the music was ripped from 7.
Are you sure?
Yes, there's not a song ripped from 7.
Okay, I believe you. That's
Yeah.
fine. Rock is a really underrated track. That's wave 3.
Blue Lake is also very
Blue
good.
Lake is amazing. Yeah, and Merry Mountain's a good nitro. It's a little simple, but again, we like simple.
You know what?
turns to
I think Peach Gardens is probably my favorite of the wave. I think I always liked Peach Gardens in Wii and DS. It was such a fun track. Just a fun theme. It's a hedge maze, you know.
Yeah,
what a decent theme, and they brought it back excellently. The hedge maze is a little bit less congested, a bit wider roads.
The tour
and
changes.
The final lap, you go in reverse in a path that, by the way, guys, it's not a tour change. They never used that.
You're
path
right,
in
I
Tour.
forgot. I'm speaking
it was
like
a
an idiot.
thing I played it in Tour the week before it came to Deluxe, and they did not have any of that. It's so nice that that was such a fun twist they threw on the track, and I think it makes it all the better. I think it is the best track of that wave.
And Maple Treeway.
Maple Treeway.
Maple Treeway is probably actually better.
I forgot
about
Maple
Treeway.
Treeway was in the wave, man. That's
the problem is that you think of a great track, you have so much to say, and then a new one comes. However, I think S tiers in this wave are Peach Garden, Rainbow Road,
Maple
and
Treeway.
Maple Treeway.
Yeah, no,
I think Blue Lake is like a high A tier. I personally don't like a few of the turns, but I can't deny it's a great first anti-grav track.
Yeah. Now before we move to wave 4, this is actually the first wave where they kind of went a bit funny here. They added custom items this wave.
Yeah.
What do we think of that?
It makes the game infinitely better. They added Verto Wave 4. That's a character thing, but in terms of just pure gameplay, I think this is the best thing they could have ever done.
I was so shocked to see it. They had never done it in
Added
a
so
Mario
much
Kart
life.
before. And literally we play on a completely different rule set. No coin, no blooper, no piranha plant, no single banana. It just makes the game so... It makes the game actually aggressive. It's not like the
Not
aggressive
frantic items.
Not frantic. Frantic does nothing. Frantic feels like it's just playing like I'm playing normal items.
Yeah.
This is like crazy. You'll see 3 or 4 blue shells on the track at once. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's like Mario Kart
And
Wii
first
all over.
place, like, it fixes the item system where it's like, oh, you're in first, and there's a single item box, but you have a 40% chance of just losing in that one interaction.
Yeah,
That's
you-
not fun.
The item boxes, you're able to get bombs. So you get bombs.
Yeah, you can
for,
get
like,
bombs,
second
and it's like
place.
bombs are a strategic projectile because you actually have to drop them. You can't just lug them behind you like with shells and other
Yeah,
banana
in
peels.
200 you can, but if you go slow on some turns, which you have to, you will get hit. So, but you could bang it off walls, drop it behind you to make almost inescapable ones.
And you know what? You can even have dumb fun with the item system too. All blue shells and mushrooms. You gotta be able to dodge blue shells if you want to play this Mario Kart. It's
it adds a lot of freedom. Again, player retention. I like that a lot.
It's so great.
Before we go to wave 4, Berlin horrible. Just feels like shit. Looks like shit. Sometimes you don't know where you're going. The traffic's bad. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know
people
why.
like
Yeah,
it.
shoving traffic onto one of these tour city tracks was a stupid
Bad idea.
It was,
And
a
they didn't do it again.
tour. They didn't do it again. It's just like I mean, they had to do it with one because it only made sense to do so. But yeah. All right. Anyway, it's 2023, February 2023.
Wave 4
was announced. Wave 4 with Yoshi's Island, and we're getting characters. This is the most obvious thing to do. You're porting Tour tracks. Tour has so many characters. Unfortunately, we only got 8. There were a bunch that were missing, but you know what? honestly, it's fine. I think we got a good 8. If I had to pick 8,
That is probably the 8.
That's
aside
the
from
8.
one.
Beside Beach, but we'll get into whatever. Yeah.
Tracks.
Tracks. This is the second best wave in the Booster Course Pass, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think the tracks in this wave are all phenomenal. There is not a single genuinely awful track in this wave. I enjoy playing on every single one of them.
I could agree with awful. There's no awful. I think there's some that I dislike more, which we can get to in a second. I think Wave 6 truly is the only one that you can argue doesn't have awful. That is the best average, and I think also probably has some of the best peaks.
Yeah, Wave 6 was, literally until Wave 6, I was like, Wave 4 is the peak of the Booster Course Pass. I didn't think Wave 6 would top it, but Wave 4, all of Wave 4's tracks. Amsterdam Drift, I know people don't. I like it. I think I like the theming. I like every lap. There's something different going on, and they made adjustments to make most of the turns work. At the end, there's a few tight hairpins, but once you've done it once, you know what's going on. You know how to do it. You know, it's a fun track. It's got some fun, interesting hazards, some really cool cuts in that first lap area. So great, so great. The Lakeside Park. Again, they just keep expanding. The GBA tracks just kept getting better.
It will never get bad, right? It won't get worse.
It won't get worse.
Oh, well, not.
For sure. But yeah,
what a great one. I can't go through them all. I just got to say my favorite from the wave, Yoshi's Island. This track is so, oh my God. It's the whole track.
Very good.
The theming, the area, the environment is changing every 5 seconds. There's so many fun twists and turns. In the first shot of the map, you see 4 different hazards.
I was going to say that exact thing. We read my mind.
Literally, the stilt guys walking around, the little buff puff guys who if you bump into them, it plays a Yoshi's Island sound and they don't damage you.
Piranha plants
There's a piranha plant on the ceiling. There's crabs in the water. It's amazing.
The dynamic shortcut, you can't aim when you're off the glider. You have to aim when you're on the glider. You have to aim when you're off the glider with your line preemptively.
It's so good. It's so.
Lines feel great. Coin placement's great.
It's incredible.
There's great cuts. It just literally that is a masterclass of track design, which I don't understand why. Literally the wave before and the wave before that, there were issues with. For example, I'll bring up London and Berlin. They're so narrow for no reason. But then Yoshi's Island and other tracks, especially in Wave 6 and a few other tracks I'll get to later, they widen it, but they just forget to sometimes. I don't understand why.
It's very
But
weird.
They did it there, and that's why it's a peak track.
What is your favorite in the wave?
It could be that, honestly, I'm not going to lie to the audience, I forget what the hell's in there.
Wave 4 is, everything I said.
Bangkok is decent.
DK Summit.
Singapore's good. DK Summit is the best one in there.
Okay, tell me
Oh my God.
DK Summit.
So the half pipes, they don't work sometimes. Sometimes it's a bit of exaggeration. Every, I would say 1 out of...
One
maybe,
race. Every
no,
race.
You think every race
Yeah.
is that bad? Whatever. For me, it happens a lot less. I think it's, again, experience, but the track is so entertaining. There's cuts. There's the double. You can do 1 extreme cut or 2 extreme cuts, but there's punishment for screwing up. I think that's really important. There's so many tricks you can do. The comebacks on the map are incredible. The visuals got good. The music's good for people who care about the more, surface level aspects of the map. I just think it's beautiful, and it's literally probably my most picked track currently. It's great.
Giovanni, what is your favorite track from Wave 4?
Let me look.
So there's the 3 tour tracks.
Well, we listed basically all the fruit cups. So there's then Bangkok, Mario Circuit, Waluigi Stadium, and Singapore Speedway.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't have a bad one. Just I think Amsterdam's
Riverside, good. I really like Riverside. Okay, but my favorite out of this, I'd probably say Riverside.
Okay, so
you like Riverside more than Summit, eh?
We love Paul the Patooey running around on the track, dropping the
him.
items. It's a great track. It is a great track. It's not my favorite of the GBA tracks on the Booster Course Pass.
Same.
That would be either Snowland or Bootleg.
Snowland for me.
But honestly, very good track. Very good track.
But
Wave 4 was great. And Wave 5, I was so hyped for Wave 5. Man, we're getting PD Piranha, we're getting Wiggler, we're getting Cam. These are the 3 characters I would have been so down for. And the track list, dude,
was the best.
The track list, you look at if you told me the track lineups a year ago, I'd be like, damn, Wave 5 is smoking hot. Moonview Highway, Vancouver Velocity. All right, there's a bathroom track that's kind of like Ribbon Road. Oh, this is going to be a great one. And when we played them on the corner plays, because this is the first time, first corner coverage, we thought they were pretty good too at the moment. I recall you even saying the line, Athens Dash is a good track.
Yeah.
What do you think of Athens Dash from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Not good.
Okay, I need to say, so to prefix all this, John Luca, G from the corner, he fell out of Mario Kart Tour around, I would say, the middle of the game's lifespan.
After Wave 5. I played this track before it came to 8 Deluxe, but not much of it.
So he was telling me for a long time, Marco, you're gonna love LA Laps. It's great. Wow, can't believe they're bringing back Moonview Highway. He was the biggest LA Laps supporter, telling me, and I quote, if you don't like this track when it comes, there's nothing I can do anymore. Because he, like, and I believe
Every wave up until then, there were complaints about the Tour City tracks, and it's like, you know what? There's this one city track that I know it's great. It's a section track.
He knows it's
There's
great.
not going to be issues with it. And then they made it too narrow, and they do a half pipe where there is no way to take that half pipe and it works. I'm
bad.
sorry.
Even
What the hell
150.
were they thinking? Literally, what were they thinking?
So, Athens, it doesn't work. If it doesn't work in 150, you'll still hit. Like, there's so many questionable decisions. The track doesn't work. When you take the glider, you can't go too high. You'll hit there. Like, it should be automatic, but it's not automatic. You have to steer, otherwise you fall off the map.
It's such a shame because of all the tour cities, it has the most potential because it's not just a city area. You're going through Athens ruins. You're going through all this
section
ancient
tracks.
Greece stuff. All section tracks. Like it's so much. It's so much fun. The music is so bombastic and grandiose. It's amazing.
But it's just not good.
But then you take the first glider and like if you don't hit the ground perfectly, you're gonna bash into the ceiling. Like what the hell?
Half pipes are borderline irrelevant. The track graphics wise, it looks like it was receding.
Oh,
and
it looks like
everyone
so
mentioned
bad. It looks so
everyone
bad.
said
You jump,
that.
you do that big jump off the 3 ramps.
roofs
you can
are
see the
cubes.
roofs. You can see the trees. There's no texturing. It's just flat colors.
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
I'm going to go over the cities first. LA Laps, there's so many problems with it, but I see what they're going for sometimes. I don't know why they decided to go with the oil sands. That's like the last thing I think of. However,
narrow and
Out of
narrow,
you can't
bad.
get through it. You can't get through it. So lap 2 is the only decent to good lap of that track.
decent in quotation marks.
There's
yeah.
like, and even then, there's like the town building section that
Oh
which
my
you jump
god!
off a bridge.
You
Literally,
literally can't take it properly because they'll pop you up. But whatever.
that track doesn't even feel like it. I know that now we're getting the subjective, the visual
Yeah.
stuff, but like they got rid of the beautiful
he
sunset
cares.
in the LA track.
Not the only time they did that in this
and
wave.
the music is honestly just kind of on the same level. It's not better. I don't know. It just kind of, it's a different
doesn't hit.
thing. It doesn't hit as hard, you know?
Yeah. And then Vancouver, John Luca likes it a bit more
I
than
like
me.
it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, but again, we should not be going down to fine when we've had everyone likes
Singapore was great. It's not as good as Singapore, which is unfortunate because the home rep, Canada. We're not from
Yeah.
Vancouver. I mean, it's like 8
Rest in
hours
peace,
away.
Toronto turnaround. That was our
Rest in
theory
peace,
craft.
Toronto turnaround. But like
The actual tracks. We have 5 quote unquote actual tracks people that care. I think the best one here, surprisingly, not Koopa Cape. I think it's Squeaky Clean Sprint.
yeah,
It's
I'm
Squeaky
gonna
Clean
say
is
the
very
same
good.
thing. Yeah, Squeaky
Giovanni
Clean is
loves
pretty
that
good.
map.
I think it's a great track.
Creativity, music.
Honestly,
graphics.
honestly, it is, in my opinion, the second best
Nitro.
tour original track. That isn't a city. It does everything that Yoshi's Island does, except it's just a bit. There's just a few janks. There's
very
few
janky.
jank sections. That ending part always ends up screwing me up if I take the bottom route.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Also, the small tube section, 200's a little hard to take. Sometimes you'll get janked. It's okay.
It's still great.
Yeah,
It's
it's
still
great.
the
There's a
best
lot
track
of freedom
in
on
the
the
way.
map. You have multiple paths a lot of the time. You could choose where to go.
And again, grandiose, bombastic music. It's a fun time.
That's an S tier for me.
Yeah. Is there anything we're forgetting about Wave 5 that track-wise that we need to talk about? Because like Daisy Cruiser, like everything else
The
is just
grab.
fine.
Daisy Cruiser's
fine.
I think Daisy Cruiser and Koopa Cape are both great. However, I think they, especially in 200, butchered both of them to a substantial
Daisy Cruiser,
degree.
I don't think it's that bad in
It's not
200.
that bad.
But Koopa Cape, like there are some jank ass turns
Why?
in Koopa Cape. You go down the
How do you
tube
fuck
at
that
the
up?
start, and if you have not played Koopa Cape before, and you go down the tube at the start, you are not going to know
You're
there
hitting
is a
5
left
walls.
turn. Yeah, you're hitting 5 walls. They shoved half pipes in there for no reason.
The half pipe under the water is good. Everything else is bad. That's my opinion, especially the one at the end. And I don't know, the turns just don't feel good. Again, that's the shrinkage I was talking about.
Execution.
Shout
We were
Danny
worried
Neal.
about the shrinkage. We were worried about the Seinfeld George Costanza shrinkage happening right now.
Yeah.
Nobody gets that reference.
Sunset Wilds was the most disappointing because I heard
forgot
it was
about
good.
that one. It's a good layout in GBA. It's a fine layout in Tour, but
It
they
doesn't
got
hit.
rid of the sunset. There's no sunset. It feels dead inside. And also, whenever you want to take a turn, there's mud puddles.
Yeah, I hate hazards that take away
just
control.
That just ruins everything.
If they take away
Literally,
control
real.
from the player, rather I'll give a perfect example. GBA Mario Circuit has small oil slicks.
Hmm.
Keyword small that spin you out. They are an actual obstacle rather than something that just lessens the lines you could take.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very big thing. And also, it's not like every turn feels good. I think it's very mid, and I was very hyped for it, and it turned to be not very good.
Yeah.
What else are we missing in this? Daisy Cruiser and Cape are
That's
great.
everything from Wave
Vancouver
5. Yeah.
Velocity.
We talked about them all, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Giovanni,
Giovanni has to leave.
Giovanni has to leave now. So we're going to say goodbye to him. But wait, do you have any thoughts on Wave 5?
Wave 5, I honestly just like the characters. Wiggler.
But with Wave 5 out of the way, it was unfortunately time to say goodbye to the Booster Course Pass with the final wave. September 2023, we all saw it. Wave 6 has been revealed. Okay, what's the track? Oh, Daisy Circuit. All right.
Wow.
Crazy. You know, we were kind of expecting a set of tracks at this point based on data mines and prefixes and all sorts of things. We thought we knew everything.
You deserve to get literally perfect on every single thing. You literally...
But I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
it's better.
I'm happy. It's better than what I wanted. But, you know, they sat down and they said, not only did they say that, but also we were only expecting 2 more characters because of how the roster was laid up. But they did a little fast one and gave us 4.
Yep.
We got Diddy, Funky, Pauline, and Peachette, which, I mean, not my first pick. I guess if you want to have another girl on the roster, there's a Monkey.
Could make Goomba
You could have just done, you could have brought in Goombad. Could have just done Dixie Kong. I don't know why they have all 3 Kongs and Pauline. It's a DK pack, you know?
Yeah,
Go
oh my
for
god,
it.
they actually should have, you're right.
Yeah, but they would never do something that cool. But you know what? It's fine. Because now we're here, Wave 6 is out, it came out pretty quick, pretty soon. It was in the middle of a lot of big releases for Nintendo, so we kind of had like 5 weeks of Mario on, honestly, with Wonder, Mario Party 3 on NSO, WarioWare this, and then Mario RPG 2, which I was just playing right before we recorded this.
You were.
It was very fun.
So, in Marco's opinion, I played a lot of Mario Kart DS, I played a decent amount of Mario Kart, and I played a lot of Mario Kart Wii. And it's funny because even though I played all these, I don't really have too much emotional attachment to them in terms of nostalgia. I have memories of them. I'm not attached to it. So I look at these maps, I'm like, okay, honestly, aside from Wii Rainbow Road, I'll be honest, I'm not super duper excited for this. I'm like, okay, this has, and the tour tracks, Gianluca had very middling or like...
Because I hadn't played
whatever.
Because
Yeah,
see,
whatever
here's the thing. Tour... It was fun playing Tour for a while. You know, I jumped in right when the Booster Course Pass got announced, and from that point until the end of its new content release, they were adding new tracks every 2 weeks, with like one exception. I think one exception. Every other 2 weeks, though, there were one or more new tracks, and I was super into it. But then in the summer, they kind of got a bit boring because a lot of the tracks were in 8 Deluxe. A lot of the tracks they were adding, and then every tour would end up just being, hey, here's a bunch of city tracks and like 1 or 2 other tracks, and it's like, well, I can play all these in 8 Deluxe now.
That's the point.
Right?
They got off the console.
One of the last tours I really got into was probably the tour that had Rome Avanti, the first city track.
Yep.
The little video turned into an ASMR. Everybody laughed at it. Apparently, it was funny. But yeah, no, Rome, and then Madrid came out, and I literally played. I played it for the video, and that was it. I did not even bother revisiting it. I looked at the tracks, and I'm like, Rome is just London, but at night. And Madrid, it has some interesting things going on, but it's got less.
You don't know how to play.
Visually, it looks less distinct than Amsterdam and such. Sure. It's like I was giving LA and Amsterdam all this praise. How could Madrid? Guys, Madrid's like probably top 2 city track in the game.
It's really good.
It's really good.
So here's the thing. There was a lot of potential for this to go wrong, especially with
Promptline Cove with 5 90-degree turns that you couldn't see coming in a row. No, they just made everything work. They just made everything work. I mean, it is an underwater track, so I should have seen that coming. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. They're all the tracks.
All of them are at least 8.
Are very good. All the tracks on Wave 6 are very good. Picking a favorite, I'd say it's hard, but it's just either between Rainbow Road and Bowser Castle, which seems really cliched and easy, but it's like, man, these are some good ones, you know?
They kept everything intact. There's some new skips with the half pipe where you switch sections. That's really good. Every half pipe works.
I was getting emotional. Man, I was getting emotional watching that trailer. Just like hearing like the trumpets and all that. Like I was like, how are they gonna make it sound? And then it's Rainbow Road, but you just have that little pinch of just a little extra, and it's like, oh man, it's so good. Yeah. And then the Bowser Castle remix.
That remake, it's so fast, feels so well.
The track,
so many options.
It's treated like the GBA remakes, but it's a Super Nintendo track and it's a Bowser's Castle. It's so much fun.
It feels really nice.
It feels so good. It's not like your traditional Bowser's Castle track, granted, but it has the thematic qualities and the excitement of one. It fits there. It ended up feeling right to be the penultimate track of the DLC.
Rome, even though it was supposed to look, the map did look like London at night, I will say, plays a lot better. Surprisingly, even though it's at night, I feel like it's a lot more clear where you're going. Most of the turns feel great. A lot of cuts, unlike London.
I don't mind London that much, personally. This track is just a little bit better than London for me.
Yeah, for me, it's a bigger step up. But agree. We both agree it's better. We both agree it's good.
Yeah.
Madrid
Circuit
feels good. Oh, yeah.
I love Daisy Circuit. I love Daisy Circuit. It's the best circuit, and the best circuit in Wii by default because the other one is basic baby circuit and figure 8.
Circuit.
So, it is. But it's a great track because it's that different circuit. It's the Star Cup circuit of Wii, and it's probably one of the best later Cup circuits in the series. Having an interesting theme, having some fun mechanics. Take this stairwell that's like an off-road, but now it also has a dummy in front of it.
Yeah.
But it's a glider cut, so you don't even need to really take a boost if you have a shell.
Yeah, I love that.
It's so fun to take.
I
and
love those
the extra things they added, the ramp, the outside of the tunnel. It's kind of pointless, but it just adds something to it. You actually want to take the outer route because of the boost. It feels so good to drift alongside that. Just such a fun track. DK Mountain, I think it's a bit jank. It's probably my least favorite in the wave, but you know what?
Least favorite over the cities.
Rome is probably my least favorite in the wave. That one's second last,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, probably fair. I think that's actually Cove might be my least favorite, but that's still like an 8 out of 10. Before we get off the mountain, visuals looks amazing. This wave visuals,
yeah, they find a
borderline base game.
Borderline base 8. Wii Rainbow Road, you can tell that looks like how it would look in base 8. Bowser's Castle, if it was less vibrant, it would look like how it base 8 looks.
I think like the fidelity is the important part.
Yeah, really real, because that's the thing with Mario. With Mario Kart 8, they went for a realistic look with everything. Everything's really washed out. And, at first we all thought it was, like, the coolest shit ever. But, looking back, it's like, I'm glad we got this, like, more vibrant look. It maybe, looking at it more from the vibrant perspective, you can kind of realize that, hey, it's probably not the most visually stunning.
But that's with Nintendo Switch games and Mario Kart 8, period. Because even on the Wii U, when people are saying it's the best looking game, you zoom in, that's a Nintendo game right there,
Yeah, they have some trickery. Hey, they have trickery.
The trickery works.
You play, 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass didn't really have the same luxury. There was a lot of blocky models all over the place.
And I'm okay with that. I like playing the track.
It doesn't take me out of it too much. There's a few bad ones, but it's like, most of them are fine. But in Wave 6, there's like a lot of tech. The city tracks always looked bad, I'm going to be honest. There's not a single wave up to Wave 6. Before Wave 6, where there wasn't a city where I'm like, the visuals are a little bit lacking. Just a smidge.
True.
They busted out the actual textures this time. Yeah. Why is there's actually, you guys had actual stone textures for the road the whole time and you didn't fucking use them?
I'm gonna believe that, what they did, how they updated it with Link, and they did that. There's gonna be an update like a year from now, right before the Switch 2 comes out. Different video on that later, where it's like, we're actually just going to fix the graphics, not have the tracks. But they'll make like 1 or 2 words. They'll be like, Nintendo,
They did actually make Wave 1's graphics slightly better in between Wave 1 and 2. I think they were literally flat textures in Wave 1 when it dropped, and then Wave 2
they added like tufts of grass.
Like, you can look at it and you're like, yeah, these are textures, but it's so small, it still looks flat.
Yeah,
literally.
But before we move on, I want to say sleeper borderline best track. It's not necessarily a 10, but I love it. It's really good.
There is a track in Mario Kart Tour called Piranha Plant Pipeline. The track is the one Tour original track, aside from the remix courses that are whatever. Aside from those, that did not make it in the Booster Course Pass, and it's so funny that they actually didn't, because it's like, damn, they spent all this time preserving all of Tour's content, but this one track, it's not going to be here. And some people I can already see it now, and a year from now, are going to be talking about how Piranha Plant Pipeline is underrated. It deserves to come back in the next Mario Kart because it's lost media or some bullshit like that.
Some bullshit.
And I'm just like, shut up. No, because I'll tell you what that track is. It is a goddamn tube. You start the track and you're just driving through
a clean tube section, the entire track.
Literally. The one interesting thing is that you take a glider and you pick from one of 2 tubes, and then that's a good quarter of the track.
That is Mario Kart 8 track design.
Yeah,
that's all base 8 is, which we will get into when the video comes out of us playing it. Because we have so much to say. You will see our faces drop when we have to play Sweet Sweet Canyon.
Oh man, so excited.
So sad.
So excited for the water part.
Can we give a rough top 5? It doesn't necessarily need to be
of the DLC
because our top 10 is 12 tracks long, or our top 5 is 12 tracks long. Our top 10 is 30.
Well, I'll give you a rough some highlights. All right. Yoshi's Island is, as we mentioned, an incredible track. That one is one that will stand the test of time easily. Wii Rainbow Road is just so free. It's so free and easy because it's what I want from a Rainbow Road. A decently long track that has some challenge to it. It's not like crazy hard, having played the game how many times, but it feels good,
We're 2 for 2, by the way, because these are also probably around my top 5-ish. Not necessarily top 5, but like top 10, close enough.
It feels weird being like Wave 6 ends up, like 2 tracks from Wave 6 after just having played it a week ago end up on my top 5.
No, because I didn't feel like that with a lot of the waves. I didn't feel like that with Wave 2. I didn't feel like that with Wave 5. I didn't really feel like it with Wave 4, honestly.
I did with Wave 4. I can tell you that, Wave 3, Singapore and
Wave 1, yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, Bowser's Castle might end up on that list. That's Bowser's Castle
Top 10
3.
probably, yeah.
That one is just so much fun, so good.
We'll bring it back to Wave 1 for a second. Shroom Ridge. Shroom Ridge, definitely close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough.
That's what I'm saying. If it's top 10, I'll say it's top 5.
It might be a bit outclassed at this point for me, but to be in top 5. Let me think.
Okay, you're trying to be different.
I'm not trying to be different. Because...
No, it's great.
Deep down, let me think. I need to think. What is the best city in the game, and is it Singapore, and is that on my top 5 list? I'm just thinking. I'm
mean-
using my big brain right now. I'm thinking, yeah, that's it. That's the answer. Singapore's in my top. My top 5 is Wii Rainbow Road, Outer Wii Rainbow Road, SNES Bowser Castle 3, Yoshi's Island, Singapore Speedway, and
I'm waiting.
it's so tough. It's so hard. I'm choosing between children right now.
Wow. You know, hey, the fact that you're doing it.
Shroom Ridge. This is Shroom Ridge.
Woo! We love Shroom Ridge.
Is it Shroom Ridge? I think it's Shroom Ridge. I'll just say Shroom Ridge.
Yeah,
just
no,
to
but
save myself the trouble.
Shroom Ridge is really good. I like DK Summit a lot. It's very high up for a lot of people. Not necessarily top 5 material for some people, but for me, I think it is. If I'm going through the waves, Mushroom Gorge isn't necessarily top 5, but it's really, really good. Just naming some highlights. Mall is super overrated. Coconut Mall.
Overhated?
Overhated in this for no reason. Like, is it by technicality worse? Yes, but it's also have a lot of aspects where it's better. Yes, I think
The car
it's a
complaints,
trade-off.
I understand. That is a change.
Valid
to the-
complaint. I don't.
But the
think
conveyor
it's that
belt, who
bad.
gives a shit about, man?
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
like, oh, I couldn't see as a child, so like now that I can tell, it's stupid. And
Me
it's
when
like,
I was blind as a kid.
bro, like literally, come on, dude. It's like
Meaningless complaints.
You're gonna tell me you're gonna play Mario Kart Wii now and be confused by which one's the one going up and going
Can
down.
I be honest? I think people just dislike change, which is why I like people say Calamari Desert. Some people say it's worse because of the changes. I think that's the only thing saving it from a Bond 10 track.
Literally, yeah.
If I have to keep on going, Wave 3 we have Peach Gardens, Rainbow Road, Maple Treeway. I already named 8 tracks. I know, but I'm just saying some really super duper highlights. And then we go into Wave 4. Giovanni Love Riverside. He's not with us anymore. Rest in peace. We got to merge on the while driving. That's fun.
That's right. First mention of driving.
First
This
mention
whole
of driving.
discussion, it took us long enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when we're at the end. If I have to continue Wave 4, honestly, what are some highlights of Wave 4? Just going over all of them. Because there's, honestly, even the tracks where we say it's like a 7 out of 10,
It's
8
been
out of
such-
10, that it's really, really good.
I just gotta say, wrapping up, this has been such a fun ride.
Yeah, it's been
It's
really
been
good.
so fun. You know, the speculation's been changing with them leaving so much shit in the files, whether
nice.
it's the prefixes or parts of the music. So we knew all of Wave 3, so they swapped in Maple Treeway.
That was fun.
That was so fun. Oh my god, just thinking I knew every track in Wave 6 down to a T. Because guys, I know
You
I
did.
clickbaited,
He did.
but like that was the wave. That was the wave. They threw in Ice World as a little surprise, and I'm gonna be real. I was expecting if there was gonna be a surprise track in there, I was expecting it to have been Ice World. So I was
Should've
shocked.
said that. Should have said that.
Should have said.
Because now people are going to say you're bad.
No, because I would have said that before Daisy Circuit, because there would have.
Yeah,
Daisy Circuit was the final
yeah.
piece of the puzzle, and then I was like, I can do the video now.
Correct, because by the way, before we leave, Gianluca, bless his heart, love talking to him about Mario Kart and video game speculation in general. I think every day it was, guys, I know what the tracks are. And every time you got at least one wrong, but that's not because you're bad.
Because
Guys,
they
look
changed
at
it
this-
up, and that was
yeah,
the
they
best
changed it up.
part.
Yeah,
Wave
because
4,
you
the
deserve
only
to have
one,
it
the
already.
only ones I didn't really predict. Okay, I'll be real. I did kind of call a few from Wave 2. I kind of was expecting that we would get but they bust out Pinball and Calamari early because they're easier tracks and they're fan favorites, and you want to get them on board quickly. I was going off Smash logic where they save the less exciting ones towards the end.
Yeah.
And with what's it called? And with waves following that, like with Wave 4, I was caught off guard, but Wave 3 we already knew of
Yeah,
from leaks.
leaks.
Wave 5, I was
Speculation.
pretty spot on with Wave 5 with 1 or 2 exceptions. I mean, I got everything right except for Moonview. Moonview was a surprise, and it was between Vancouver, Cove, and Rome for me, and we got Vancouver. You know, and then Wave 6, it was just like I knew them all, but no, they surprised us.
On a final note, to Nintendo, if you're going to do like quote unquote low effort DLC, do it like this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest, because like the hype, it was released aside from Wave 1 to 2, it was a beautiful amount of time.
Oh yeah,
between.
no,
Wasn't
for
too
sure.
much,
Wave
wasn't
1
too
to 2
little.
is ridiculous because they didn't even have a direct. They literally we went 6 months with no news on this because
Yeah.
they announced everything for Wave 1 too early, and then Wave 2 drops 6 months after that. And it's like, what the heck? But then after that, you give a preview and a direct, and then 3 weeks to 2 months later, you have a trailer. It was great. It was
Yeah.
so great.
I think that was amazing. Like, it added a lot of content to a game that was not necessarily dead because it's Mario Kart, was selling gangbusters.
It's just that it had been at that point 8 years
old.
since
It's just
Mario
old.
Kart 8 came out, so it was nice to finally get some
Mario
more
Kart 8
content.
Deluxe is complete.
Yes.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
And now we wait for the next Mario Kart, which, you know, we'll talk about it probably in a future video, but I don't think it's that far off. I think we're probably another year. In a year from now, we might be playing Mario Kart 9, and it's great that Mario Kart's back, man. Mario Kart has not been really doing much since I was in elementary school.
That's crazy.
That's
That's
crazy.
true.
That is a true fact, and it's so important. And it's like, man,
Me too.
you know, right? It's funny because right before the Booster Course Pass got announced, I was thinking that if there is a time for Mario Kart 9, this direct is it. I don't know why. I was thinking that like that could have been it, and lo and behold, when they were like,
Close
we got
enough.
news, and it's like that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But you know, it's all right because they announced Mario Kart 9 at that direct, and it'll go down in history when they finally talk about it again. You want to tell the crowd? You want to tell the fam?
Okay, so we got either placeboed or Mandela effect or something. We swapped universes because me and Michael DeMello, friend of the channel, and Giovanni, he was on the damn discussion, but all three of us, we were watching the direct live, and we could have swore, and I mean swear on like lives, that they said we are currently at work on Mario Kart 9. And if anyone got placebo like this, or you could call me stupid, I don't care, say it in the comments, interact with our channel, please. But I'm actually in disbelief that didn't happen because I remember it so vividly, and we were losing our minds, and then we're like, what, there's more, and then the DLC showed up, and we lost our minds. We're like, what is happening? And Gianluca makes fun of me for this for 2 years straight.
This
So,
didn't
I'm
happen.
sad.
He never said that. They didn't announce shit. They were like, we have some news for Mario Kart fans. We hope you've been enjoying the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game. We're going to be adding tracks to it.
Well, see, but that's what you heard. I could have been under the influence of drugs I don't take. But yeah, no. So that's the story. Great DLC, great journey. Gianluca, shake my hand. Great impromptu discussion, and honestly,
Very
it's been
good.
great playing and talking and growing with you.
Yes, you know, I have loved this journey we have taken through the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, and now unfortunately Nintendo's going to be boring until they announce the next system because there's no DLC. I can't be going into directs being like they're dropping a Smash character or a Mario Kart track.
We're going to do a video about the new Smash Bros. That's coming out, by
And
the
I'm
way.
going to piss him the fuck
And
off.
he's
It's
gonna
going to be
piss me the
so
fuck
fun.
off.
It's going to be so funny, man. I'm going to go back to working on that pitch when I get home.
Guys, stay cornered.
Yeah.
Stay in your F-150.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
See
Have
you
fun.
guys on the next one.